Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, dear Honorable my faculty advisor, Professor Dr. Henry Erianto, MM, also Mr. Maulana Amirul Ada, SPB MPD. My name is Abimanyu Adinugroho. I'm an undergraduate student at Office Administration Education, Faculty of Economic and Business, Jakarta State University. On this occasion, I would like to present my research proposal entitled The Mediating Role of Work Motivation, the Effect of Work Discipline and Work Environment on Employee Performance at Gurita. Firstly, research backgrounds. According to Dessler 2017, human resource management is the process of attracting, training, appraising, and compensating employees and dealing with labor relations, health and safety, and equality and welfare issues. In this case, it means that effective HRM practice are essential for aligning employee goals with organizational strategies, resulting in increased organizational productivity and HR performance. Employee performance, according to Rohmah and Soehartono 2023, is very important in determining the progress and success of the company, including companies that provide delivery service, both domestic and international, or well known as export and import. This progress clearly depends on the ability to effectively manage employee performance. Well-performing employees can certainly create a positive image for the delivery service company, while poor performance cannot only harm the company's image, but also jeopardize its survival. Gurita Indonesia. As a global market company that specializes in handling the delivery of goods both domestically and internationally, well known as exports and imports, has a goal of expanding and encouraging local products to compete on a global market. So that the good employee performance is needed by this company to achieve these goals. But based on the result, according to pre-research, the performance of Gurita Indonesia employees has decreased, where in all aspects in 2023, the performance value was in 80% and continue to decline until 2024. The performance value was decreased to 70%. This 7% decrease is in performance value indicates that there is a problem that can hinder the achievement of company goals. Along with the interview, the researchers conduct a pre-research through a questionnaire involving 28 employees as a respondents. It can be seen in the table that as many as 57.2% of the total respondents said they had not attended and complete work on time. Then as many as 53.6% of the total respondents said they could not feel comfortable in the current work environment. Then as many as 50% of the total respondents said they had not been encouraged to work. This indicates that the decline in performance is caused by three main factors. The first is work discipline with a contribution value of 29.8% employees who tend to arrive late or absent are lazy employees who can weaken motivation and produce poor performance. The second is work environment, with a contribution value of 28%. A work environment that is not tailored to the needs or a work environment that is not conducive creates a feeling of reluctance to work, lowers work motivation, and has an impact on performance decline. Then the third factor is motivation, work motivation, with a contribution value of 26%. Employees would tend not to have a work ethic are unlikely to be able to produce quality and quantity of work in accordance with expectation, so that if the motivation to work is weak, it can also reduce the performance. Therefore, the researchers decide to conduct more in-depth research on the effect of work discipline and work environment on employee performance through work motivation. So according to the background research, problem formulation of this research including: first, is there a direct effect of work discipline on work motivation? Second, is there a direct effect of work discipline on employee performance? Third, is there a direct effect of work environment on work motivation? Fourth, is there a direct effect of work environment on employee performance? Fifth, is there a direct effect of work motivation on employee performance? Sixth, is there an indirect effect of work discipline on employee performance through work motivation? Seventh, is there an indirect effect of work environment, on employee performance through work motivation? According to background research and the problem formulations, the research objectives includes: first, to determine the direct effect of work discipline on work motivation. Second, to determine the direct effect of work discipline on employee performance. Third, to determine the direct effect of work environment on work motivation. Fourth, to determine the direct effect of work environment on employee performance. Fifth, to determine the direct effect of work motivation on employee performance. Sixth, to determine the indirect effect of work discipline on employee performance through work motivation. Seventh, to determine the indirect effect of work environment on employee performance through work motivation. The research benefits. First, theoretical benefits. This research is expected to provide results that can be broaden insight and knowledge and contribute to the development of supporting theories in research on employee performance and its relationship with discipline, environment, and work motivation. Second, practical benefits. This research is expected to contribute to the company in solving the problem of decreased employee performance and knowledge of HR management more effectively. This research also expected to be applied science and proof of the author's dedication as an undergraduate student at Jakarta State University. Okay, this is the literature review. First, according to Dessler 2021, human resource management, or HRM, is the process of hiring, training, evaluating, and compensating employees, as well as addressing issues of labor relations, health and safety, also fairness. Employee performance. According to Kashmir 2016, performance is the result, behavior, and level of success achieved by employees within a certain time by considering the effectiveness of efficiency and initiative in the work process. Work discipline. According to Supriyanto et al. 2020, work discipline is a reflection of the extent to which employees comply with established rules, policy, and ethical guidelines, resulting in an efficient operational framework. Work environment. According to Danang 2015, the work environment is everything that is around workers and may affect them in completing tasks. A conducive work environment can be support the work process. Work motivation. According to Maslow 1943, work motivation is a turmoil within an individual that encourages him to work so that all his needs can be met. Motivation is driven by internal factors and external factors. Motivation also splits by two is motivation, positive motivation and negative motivation. So according to the problem formulation, there is research frameworks as its number one is effect of work discipline on work motivation. Disciplined work behavior such as punctually consistent effort and compliance with company rules foster awareness that good disciplines create a supportive environment and fosters the motivation of others employees, providing clarity, goal orientation, and a sense of achievement. This statement is supported by the result of research by Giuliani et al. 2024. Number two is effect of work discipline on employee performance. The internalization of discipline-related behaviors, such as time management, task commitment, and adherence to workplace norms, is a critical determinant in improving individual efficiency and effectiveness, which contributes to better overall organizational performance and employee performance. This statement is supported by the research result of Zamani et al. 2025. Number three, effect of work environment on work motivation. A well-designed work environment encourage feeling of security, belonging, and recognition, all of which contribute to meeting the basic needs of employees as individuals, which, if individuals' needs are met, can stimulate the growth of motivation. This statement is supported by the result of research by IHZA 2024. Number four, effect of work environment on employee performance. An optimal work environment fosters psychological well-being, job satisfaction, and motivation, which collectively serve as important drivers to increase concentration, creativity, collaboration, overall productivity, and improve performance. The statement is supported by the result of research by Bahrain and Poma 2024. Number five, effect of motivation on employee performance. Motivated employees show better work engagement, proactive behavior, and a strong desire for a personal and professional growth, all of which contribute to superior task performance and productivity. This statement is in accordance and supported by research by Amir 2025. Number six, the effect of work disciplines on employee performance through work motivation. Work motivation is an important mechanism that turns disciplinary behavior into better performance result by encouraging aspects such as increased job satisfaction, goal orientation, and perseverance. This statement is supported by the result of research by Nirfandi et al. 2024 and Giuliani et al. 2024. Number seven, or last, the effect of work environment on employee performance through work motivation. A supportive work environment will provide a sense of security and comfort, as well as provide appropriate and abundant resources, increasing employee motivation. This increases motivation then drives higher level of effort, engagement, creativity, and perseverance, leading to improved employee performance and productivity. The statement is consistent with and supported by the research result of Nirvandi et al. 2024 and ISA on 2024. According to background research, problem formulation, result objectives, there is a hypothesis include first, there is a direct effect of work discipline on work motivation. Second, there is a direct effect of work discipline on employee performance. Third, there is a direct effect of work environment on work motivation. Fourth, there is a direct effect of work environment on employee performance. Fifth, there is a direct effect of work motivation on employee performance. Sixth, there is an indirect effect of work discipline on employee performance through work motivation. Seventh, there is an indirect effect of work environment on employee performance through work motivation. Research methods. First, time research. In order to provide factual and accurate results, this research was conducted over an ideal period of time from December 2024 to July 2025. The place of research. This research took place at Gurita, Indonesia, because the phenomena in this company are relevant to this research. So this research also aims to be implemented in the company. The design research. This research is an empirical research, which means looking for relationships between variables with a quantitative descriptive approach, meaning that this research aims to explain a condition as it based on data, which is data in the form of statistical numbers. The population in this study are employees who work either internships, contracts, or permanent at the Gurita Indonesia company, with a total affordable populations is 129 respondents. The sample of the study was obtained using the saturated sample method because the population was homogeneous and avoided the number of respondents less than 100. The data collection technique. In this study, the data used are primary data obtained through a questionnaire using Google Form. The questionnaire contains short statements with Likert scale element. Data analysis technique. These studies use the PLS or partial least square model so that the data analysis is carried out with Smart PLS 4.0 software, which involves outer model analysis, inner model analysis, and bootstrapping or hypothesis test. Next, respondent profile. Respondent profile have two classification based on division and based on gender. And the total number of respondents who participate was 129 employees. Next, convergent validity test. Convergent validity test is seen through the outer loading value, which must be more than 0.7 for validity. We can see that the valid indicators include the invalid indicators include DK2, DK6, LK2, LK6, LK7, LK8, MK1, MK3, MK5, MK7, MK8, MK10, KK1, KK3, KK5, KK6, KK8, and KK10. Next, discriminant validity test. Discriminant validity test is seen through the HTMT ratio or heterotroid monotroid ratio value, which must be less than 0.9. We can see that the following HTMT ratio values are below 0.9. Next, reliability test. Reliability is seen through the Cronbach alpha and composite reliability values, which must be more than 0.7. We can see that all indicator uh, has Cronbach alpha and composite reliability values uh, over than 0.7. Next, inner model analysis. There is an R-square value that explains the level of variance in endogenous variable. Then there is a chi-square value that explains the predictive ability of the relevance of endogenous variable. Then there is an F-square that explains the extent of the influence of exogenous variables on endogenous variable. Next, there is also the VIF or variance inflation factor, which explains the inflations of variance in indicator. The VIF value must be less than 0.5 to be considered as not having a multicollinearity. And all the indicators have VIF value below 5. Next, hypothesis test. There are two classification of hypothesis. Number one is direct influence and number two is indirect effect. Discusses. H1, the effect of work discipline on work motivation. In the direct effect of work discipline variables on work motivation, the t-statistic value is 0.627, or which means that the statistic value is below 1.996, and the p-values value is 0.531, or which means the p-values is over than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work discipline variables has no significant directly effect on work motivation. Therefore, the hypothesis that work discipline has a significant direct effect on work motivation, or H1, is rejected. H2, the effect of work discipline on work motivation. In the direct effect of work discipline variables on employee performance show a t-statistic value of 4.935, or which means the t-statistic value is over than 1.96, and the p-value is 0.00, or which means the p-value is below than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work discipline variable has a significant effect directly on employee performance. Therefore, the hypothesis that work discipline has a significant effect directly on employee performance, or H2, is accepted. H3, the effect of work environment on work motivation. In the direct effect of work environment variables on work motivation shows that the t-statistic value is 1.533, or which means the t-statistic value is over than 1.96, and the p-values is 0.00, or which means the p-values is below than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work environment variables has a significant effect directly on work motivation. Therefore, the hypothesis that the work environment has a significant effect directly on work motivation, or H3, is accepted. H4, the effect of work environment on employee performance. In the direct effect of work environment variables or employee performance, the statistic value is 2.815, or which means the t statistic value is below than 1.96, and the p-value is 0.005, or which means the p-values is below than uh, 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work environment variables has a significant directly effect on employee performance. Therefore, the hypothesis that the work environment has a significant effect directly on employee performance, or H4, is accepted. Next, H5, the effect of work motivation on employee performance. In the direct effect of work motivation variables on employee performance, the t statistic value is 2.815, or which means the t statistic value is below than 1.96, and the p-value show is 0.125, or which means the p-value is over than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work motivation variables has no significant effect directly on employee performance. Therefore, the hypothesis that work motivation has a significant effectly direct on employee performance, or H5, is rejected. Next, H6, the effect of work discipline on employee performance through work motivation. In the indirect effect of work discipline variables on employee performance through work motivation, the t statistic value is 0.531, or which means the t statistic value is below than 1.96, and the p-value also is 0.596, or which means the p-value is over than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work discipline variables has no significant indirect effect on employee performance through work motivation. Therefore, the hypothesis that work discipline has a significant indirect effect on employee performance through work motivation, or H6, is rejected. Last is H7, the effect of work environment on employee performance through work motivation. In the indirect effect of work environment variables on employee performance through work motivation, the t statistic value is 1.444, or which means the t statistic value is below than 1.96, and the p-value is 0.149, or which means the p-value is over than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the work environment variable has no significant indirect effect on employee performance through work motivation. Therefore, the hypothesis that work environment has a significant indirect effect on employee performance through work motivation, or H7, is rejected. Next conclusion. Number one is there is no significant direct effect of work discipline on work motivation. Number two is there is a significant direct effect of work discipline on employee performance. Number three, there is a significant direct effect of work environment on work motivation. Number four, there is a significant direct effect of work environment on employee performance. Number five, there is no significant direct effect of work motivation on employee performance. Number six, there is no significant indirect effect of work discipline on employee performance through work motivation. Number seven, there is no significant indirect effect of work of work environment on employee performance through work motivation. Next, limitation and recommendation. Number one is expanding the scope of the research object. Future research should be conduct on companies in different sectors or on multiple companies within one industry to ensure that the results are more generalizable. A multi-sector approach will broaden the empirical background and allow comparison of businesses with different managerial characteristics. Number two, combining the questionnaire instrument with other data collection methods, such as observation or interviews, that can be reduce perceptions bias and increase data validity. Combining multiple data collection methods is likely to strengthen the findings and balance between subjective data and factual condition. Number three, adding other theoretical and practically relevant variables to the research model, such as organizational culture, workload, leadership style, job satisfaction or incentives. Some of these variables have the potential to act as mediators or moderators that can expand the understanding of the relationships between the main variables. Number four, combining quantitative and qualitative approach or mixed techniques. Quantitative approach that are numerical in nature can be complemented by qualitative approach, such as in-depth interview or observations, to gain a more contextual and exploratory understanding of employee motivation, perceptions, and work behaviors that cannot be fully explained by statistical data. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry if there's any mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.